Hey guys, Sundown here. This is going to be my chapter review to Nanatsu no Taizai, or the 7 Deadly Sins 323. I am here. Now, I hadn't read the chapters until like literally about half hour ago, since 320. So I've had a lot of catching up to do. Well, 3 chapters worth of catching up to do. And there's a simple reason why. This last month I've been very involved with my brother's wedding, so every week I've been back down in Birmingham, and even while I've been in Birmingham, there's been very, very little time that I could dedicate to any quality YouTube content. But now that that's over and done with, the wedding has been completed and everything is cushy, now I can get back to doing what I should have been doing. So let's get right down to it. Taizai, I thought I'd start off with that, just clean some of the air out of this shit fest, to be fair. And where we've come to with this latest chapter, which was I Am Here, is Meliodas trying to free Zeldris within this kind of internal soul world kind of thing, and he's there with Gautha, and basically this fake Gelder is there telling Meliodas like, you're selfish, you're here trying to save Zeldris even though you betrayed him twice. And I'm just like, cool, yeah, we get this. Zeldris is just there kind of asleep. Meliodas calls out to him like, yep, I'll wake his ass up. He wakes up, surprisingly enough. I thought there'd be like a little bit more to it, but he's just like, oh shit, someone's calling me. I was okay, cool. So his initial response to Meliodas being there is just like this really nasty kind of laugh towards Meliodas. Like they weren't on good terms, but they weren't necessarily on like really bad terms by the end of this whole, when they first defeated the Demon King. At least I didn't think so. But he gives off this really evil laugh, like, you saved me, you were an asshat. And Meliodas just kind of looks at him with like a clear face, determined look. He's like, yes. And Zeldris is like, I'm dumbfounded, you actually meant what you said, holy shit. So I was like, okay, this is a bit, there's just weird interactions all the way through. So then we have Gelder saying, Zeldris, don't listen to his words, he's the one that killed me, he betrayed you before, all this shit, I'm the only one who loves you, bottom of my heart, all this shit. And then we get this. I felt this was a really, really weird part of the chapter. I know I haven't been on that Taizai hype for a while. Holy crap, cars. But I haven't been on that Taizai hype for a while. But it just seems like such a weird interaction. And the reason I say this is not because Gelder is an obvious fake. And I'm not sure if like this was supposed to be surprising to us, because we already knew. And I'm pretty sure one of the side panels in one of the kind of side writings, can you call it, just like notes on the chapter from the author, one of them, I think it was the last chapter, so 322, it was like, oh my god, Geld is a fake. And I was like, everyone knows that, like, it's not even a question, everyone freaking knows that, because you revealed that a few chapters ago. But the thing that I found weird here was not that Gelder was like some her speech was weird and all that stuff, saying, oh, I'm the only one that loves you, I'm the only one that'll do you, but it's more along the lines that Zeldris is just like, you're not the real Gelder, and regardless of what I thought, and somewhere in my heart I wanted you to be the Gelder, that like I wanted you to be Gelder, but I know you're not, and all this shit you're spewing about being the one that loves me more than anyone, that's precisely why you're a fake, because Gelder would never say something like that. I'm like, so Zeldris, this guy who's so principled, who would never like back down from a fight or anything like that, not even against his father. I mean, like, we've seen that he gives in to the orders of his father because he wants to obey his dad, and then he wants to get Gelder back, all that good shit. But he legitimately, his reasoning behind giving his body over to the Demon King is just bullshit. So what everyone thought originally was he's misidentified this person as Gelder. He's cool with it being Gelder, and he's kind of just been just lulled into a sense of security by her immense cleavage. That's what everyone else thought, right? At least that's what I thought. And here he's just like, yeah, I knew from the very beginning that you weren't Gelder, I just wanted you to be Gelder. So you gave your body away to the Demon King, which is now kind of the huge situation everyone's in, is that the Demon King is evolving, growing stronger and stronger, because he's in possession of your body. Now he can use the ruler and stuff like that. All because you wanted this being to be Gelder, even though you knew it wasn't. I'm just like, explain to me, someone, if my thinking is off here, but that sounds like some big bullshit and just like some poor writing once again on Nakaba's part. I'm just like, I don't understand what the logic would have been here for Zeldris, and he's not the type of character who would just be like, oh yeah, I didn't think about it. He would have thought about something like that. So then the illusion of Gelda vanishes, and another illusion occurs where we see multiple Zeldrises hanging down from the ceiling, from the walls, by these spider webs, and essentially Meliodas has to figure out which one is which. And his initial response to this was, he's going to go full whack-a-mole and just slice at all the threads and see whichever one survives or some shit. I'm not sure how that would have helped him along. But the key point here is that Galtha I think it was either at the beginning of this chapter or last chapter, literally says to Meliodas, we can't interfere with this world. If we do any physical damage to anyone or anything like that, we're going to get kicked out of this world, because just like when you fought the Demon King, it's only you and the Demon King that can like do any of the interactions in this world. Anybody else will get rejected as soon as they actually like damage even a thread or something like that in this domain. So Meliodas proceeds to not listen to any of the shit that Galtha just told him, tries to slice down Zeldris. He slices Galtha, who's trying to stop him, and Galtha touches Zeldris and cuts his threads, essentially dropping him to the ground, and he's evacuated from the soul world. So Galtha, in his kind of dying throes, or his dying words essentially to Meliodas are, yo, asshat, listen up. I told you just once before, I'm going to tell you again, don't do anything stupid. You cannot cause any disturbance in this world. If you do, you're going to be identified as a foreign entity and forcefully ejected. You're going to be forcefully evacuated. Even something as like trivial as a mere strand, which is what happened to Galtha. So Meliodas is like, oh shit, yeah, I'm sorry. Galtha tells him, bruh, you got one chance to save Zeldris. Don't fuck up this time. Be a real older brother and actually do something for once. So Galtha appears in the real world, where we have, and I know I haven't actually reviewed this yet, but Escanor, Ban, and King, fighting against the Demon King. Now the Demon King has gotten exceptionally more powerful since the last time I reviewed a chapter, and everyone else is just kind of within Merlin's perfect cube because they're trying to protect Meliodas. I'm not sure if anybody's had an issue, but Escanor has been damaging the Demon King, and this is the Demon King like that's meant to be almost as powerful as he's ever gonna get, and Escanor is able to really, really damage him. I mean, like he punched a hole in him and some shit. So I'm just like, once again, the power scaling is a bit off. This isn't even the one form Escanor. This is just Escanor doing Escanor things, and I assume everyone's holding back as well because they don't want to kill the Demon King because Zeldris is still inside. So I'm not sure how this is going down, but everyone is able to keep up with the Demon King. The Demon King is a turd, and at the moment it's just like Nakaba is polishing a turd, which never really turns out very well at all, no matter what type of turd you're using. So the captain, Meliodas, is still in the demon world. The Demon King's like, this vessel belongs to me. You'll never get it back. All that good shit. And then we see an apron fly across the sky. It's a skirt. Everyone's shocked. Suddenly the Demon King's been bitten on the neck. It's Gelda. Gelda's there biting at his neck, just like, I don't know, going to town on that blood. And this is pretty funny, actually. The Demon King identifies Gelda straight away, and he's like, yo, you're the bitch that seduced and manipulated my son. Even though I've done less of the seducing part, but I've done the manipulating part, So he literally just pulls her head off her shoulders and throws her body and her head away. And Diane's just like, oh shit, that's disgusting. Everyone's like, yo, shit, this is disgusting. And Barnes is there like, I was really surprised. Someone actually mentioned this in the comments, how Escanor, King, and Ban proceeded to do jack and shit in order to save Gelda. They were just like, yeah, we're just going to watch him rip this chick's head off. So he did that. But Gelda here shows something we've not actually seen very much of the vampires. And she shows here her regenerative capacity, with just her body's floating, her head just flies back over and attaches itself back to her body. But she had a game plan, essentially, which was while the Sins were distracting him, she came in, bit his neck, and was able to take in some of his blood. That comes back later. But she says the regenerative capacity of her body has been amplified, or especially in her case, her abilities have been furthered due to ingesting Zeldris' blood. So that was, the little drop of Zeldris' blood she had before, apparently that was enough, unless she's had vials of it somewhere else before, some other time, but she's been amplified due to Zeldris' blood. That's the key fact here. So, coming back to the other point, she attacked the Demon King not just to like, you know, get a taste of Zeldris's adult body, but it was to become connected to his blood. So she actually took in some of his blood, and she can now take a little mental dive, joining Zeldris in his father's soul world, essentially. Now I was like, that's cool and everything, but like the way Gatha did it was he's you know, his whole shtick is he has twin bow hair, and he can create illusions of the mind and stuff like that. He can manipulate people mentally, all that good shit. Gatha is that character, you know, that very Eisen-esque character. She's ingested someone's blood and is now able to deep dive into their psyche. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that. I'm not sure if I like that. I mean, it's cool that she's done it, but I just feel like it's very kind of shoehorned in. Like, oh, if I ingest your blood, I can go into your mind. Goodbye. And she pretty much does that. The Demon King's just there with one eye open, like, yo, the fuck, I didn't know this could happen. So Meliodas is there trying to figure out which Zeldris is the real Zeldris. Zeldris is trying to do the heroic thing of, just slay me, it doesn't matter. I have one thing to tell Gelda. I need you to tell her for me. And Meliodas is just like, you're gonna tell her yourself, goddammit. And he's just like, I want to go home first. But from the skies dives down Gelda with her assets, and obviously Zeldris is gonna somehow show who the real Zeldris is, and Gelda's gonna be able to identify him because she's his actual lover and would be able to identify something like that, supposedly, even though the illusions all look the same, and I think they're all able to speak and stuff like that. So however she does it, she's gonna do it. There's very little kind of, you know, there's very little sense of danger here, but she seems to be in his mind somehow. So that's the end of the chapter. I thought it was actually a decent chapter. The last few chapters were decent, but once again, all of the recurring issues we've had with Taizai over the last 20-ish chapters, and all the other chapters as well, they've kind of repeated, so I'm not going to mention them again. They're all kind of still there. Nakaba hasn't really dealt with any of the issues with the power scaling, with Merlin clicking shit into existence and stuff like that, and Escanor's, you know, Escanor ability. But I for this chapter, I thought it was pretty decent. It was okay, and that's pretty much it. The Demon King is still pretty shitty. So let me know what you guys thought of this chapter. Let me know what you guys thought of this review. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I'll see you guys hopefully over the weekend as I cover One Piece, My Hero, and One Punch Man. So I'll see you guys in a bit.